Welcome into All Things LA Real Estate. My name is PK Knoll. We're heading out to Highland Park for your September real estate update. Highland Park, one of the most desirable neighborhoods in all of Los Angeles, especially on the east side. Huge growth in the real estate market over the past 10 to 15 years. If you're a homeowner there, you're probably sitting on so much equity and feeling so good that you're probably not wasting your time looking at real estate updates because you know you're good. But this video is going to be a little bit more tiered toward people who are looking to buy out in Highland Park. We're going to break down all the numbers, do some month over month, do some year over year. And at the end of the video, we're going to try and find a few homes of value in the neighborhood and homes that have caught my eye. Let's go. As we jump into the current statistics out in Highland Park, there's a few things that are going to jump off the board with us. If you've been following along, we do this month after month. Subscribe to the channel if you are so interested. But in Highland Park, currently we have 34 homes available for sale. Of those 34, we've seen 13 of them have to do price drops. That's 38%. Not the highest on the east side, but certainly not a great number, and a number that's probably, as we get down further in these numbers, going to be consistently happening as we get into these winter months with the rates not dropping this year almost certainly. Normally, a price drop in a real estate market that's just normal is huge red flag. Something's wrong with the house, foundation, tenants, zoning, crime, something like that, mispriced. But in this market, we just don't have the buyers who can afford to finance homes that are over $1 million at 7.5% interest rate. So especially as the summer ends and, homes start sitting for, over 2 months, sellers, just want to get moved on with their lives and they start to drop the price to entice people. That's the drip, and that's what's going on. Minimum price to get in the neighborhood right now is $699,000. We're going to talk about that home in the final segment of the video here. Top end, that $3.499 million home. We'll touch briefly on that. That one's been sitting for a minute. We've gone over it in past months. Average price right now, a little concerning, 1.465, 1.467652. That is extremely high for Highland Park, Our typical average out in Highland Park is in the 1.1 millions. So to see it at the 1.4, and we do have two big dogs that are kind of holding up the pricing, but with 34 homes, you'd hope that average would kind of start tearing down, which could mean more price drops coming. A couple of people are probably looking at 2021 numbers, hoping to get that value on their home, and are about to be rudely awakened as, rates are not going to be dropping anytime soon. Days on the market is 74, so we are over 2 months of a lot of these homes sitting on the market. That's especially telling. Normally that number is between 30 and 45, month and a half. When you get up over 2 months, you got to think about these are people who probably listed their house, in the beginning of summer with the hopes of selling and moving, maybe with children, get them into different schools, things like that. But then now they've been sitting on average for these homes for 74 days. So we could really see some strong price drops coming even more as we move into. So I think that 38% number we see is possibly going to continue as we get through, October, November, December, and get into the new year. If we looked at September of 2022, we had 25 homes sell, 102% clip. So 2% over the list price. That's one key indicator if you're a homeowner, if you are somebody who's looking to see if your home's getting appreciation. The price drops are certainly a factor. But what homes are selling over the list price, because your list price is typically going to be set based off comps, based off what other homes have sold for in the neighborhood, and the percentage that it goes over that list price is what the demand, what the actual buyers are telling you it's valued at. So let's jump into the numbers from last month, because what's most relevant is what's most recent, and we can see exactly what's happening out in Highland Park. As we look into the numbers from last month out in Highland Park, we got some positives, we got some negatives. Let's start off. The amount of homes sold last month was 18, and it sold at 111% clip, so 11% over that list price. That is the best number in all the east side of Los Angeles. So that means the homes that sold, the homes that are attractive, were selling and getting some offers and going above 11% over the list price, which is a high number, in regards to that, because, we're just not getting the demand that you want. You're typically not getting a huge multiple offer situation. So 11% over the list price is the highest in the east side. So that is good for home appreciation in Highland Park. That should give you some insight if a new home comes on the market and you're looking, you might have some strong competition. People just know about Highland Park. The cat's out the bag. People want to get in there. If you're considering Highland Park and you don't have an agent, reach out. We need to start looking now. You need to be on the ball when that home comes on the market immediately if you want to get the bid in. Minimum sold last month was $685. It sold $10K over the list price. So it was listed for $675, sold for $685. Needed some work. You're probably not going to typically get out in Highland Park for $675 or under $700K. Home needed a little bit of TLC, sold for $10K over. On the top end, we did have a sale for $1.729. It sold for about $34K over the list price. So it's listed at the $1.699, sold for $1.729. So a very attractive home there. Went very quickly over the list price. It brought our average to 1.173,876. Like I mentioned in the first segment, in Highland Park, we're seeing consistent numbers when it comes to the average home sale price, and it's always in the 1.1s, and that's where we're at right now with last month in August. Days on the market for those homes that sold was 21. If we take a peek into August of 2022, we had 26 homes sell at 108% clip, so we're still seeing the 8%. Now, there should be an anticipation that maybe that, mark above the list price starts to come down over the winter months. We'll see what the numbers tell us. We'll see how that goes. But that is a 31% decline year over year. We went from 26 down to 18. We're probably going to continue to see that as we go through the rest of this year. So not great in that regard. One thing that is a silver lining when it comes to that is we've seen that all across the east side. Many, many neighborhoods are sitting in that 30% year over year decline. Some in 40. There's only one neighborhood on the east side that's actually had an increase year over year. So don't get too bent out of shape about the 31%. It's just the reality. We don't have the inventory to really keep the market running. But let's go see if we can find some value with homes that have caught my eye. Homes that have caught my eye. We're going to break down some homes out in the market. We'll look at the entry level, top dog. I give you PK's top pick. With the top picks in today's real estate market, it has to be a financial play. If you're going to go out and purchase a home and you're going to finance that home at a 7.5% interest rate, first of all, assume the monthly payment you are signing up for will be your monthly payment for the entire 30 years of your loan. Do not listen to the people who say, don't worry about it, you can refinance. Those people have been saying the same thing since rates jumped, and now you're still just stuck. So if things change down the line and rates do come back down to 5 at some point, through the duration of your loan, which hopefully they will, that's a good situation. You can deal with it then, but you need to find a home that's going to have value, continue to appreciate, because you don't want to get underwater on your loan, because that's when you run into huge trouble, and you don't want to run into huge trouble on $1 million loan. Let's start off with the entry level. First of all, we had that 5317 Longfellow, which we've been tracking for months. That was that investment property, and it is finally pending. So good for that homeowner. They finally got an offer there. It is pending. And if you've owned a home before, if you're familiar with the real estate game, pending does not mean sold. So I'm going to keep my eye on it, but it's off the market right now with a pending sale. But right now our low end is 5762 Omaha Street. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 991 square feet. It's listed for the $699K, and it's actually had a $196K price drop. So they originally listed it at $895. Did not get the offers that they wanted, and they moved it down to $196,000, which shows a little bit of desperation. It's a $705 per square foot right now. Not bad. I'll live with anything between $400 and $700 when it comes to the low end in the east side neighborhoods. The lot's not huge, but it's fine. 2715. This is an investment property. It needs work, no doubt about it. That's why they didn't get any offers that they deserved at $865, because the reality is the top end comps for this home is probably $800K. So you got about $100K wiggle room to come in and make the renovations needed to really improve this home. But it is a little bit of a risk play. But if that's something you're familiar with doing, I'm not making an investment play for the first time in this market. If you're somebody who's done this stuff in the past, you probably already got your eye on this one. Maybe it's one that I come in and make an offer below the list price and see if I can snag it for maybe $650, which gives me more wiggle room to go in and make the improvements needed to get this home back up to par. At best, like I mentioned, probably $800K. Let's go to a little bit more value in PK's top pick. Just quickly, the one we talked about last month was maybe my favorite home on the market in August. The comp, it's was listed for 1.049. We said the comps, we ran all the numbers on it, was 1.425 and ended up selling for 1.5. So 451,000 over the list price. That's where I would have probably gotten weary. I might have had my clients pull out if I was looking at that home, but we knew it was undervalued. That's why I made PK's top picks. That's why you got to be in the game early when it comes to these value plays. But we're going to switch over to 6401 Elder Street. It's a 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 3,158 square feet, listed for 1.625. It's 74K price drop on this one, so it's listed for 1.699. Win for is now at 1.625, so you know there's not heavy offers coming in, so you know there's some opportunities there. $514 per square foot. You get up above 1.5 million, you start to leak toward $1,000 per square foot in these nice neighborhoods. So 514 is an incredible number for the amount of space you're getting. Right over 3,000 is the size of the home. This is a double lot as well. So if you want some land, 15,000 is the lot here. Maybe you go about, split up the lots, get some permits, do some building as you build equity through this home, because that lot is ginormous. But the Craftsman home on it certainly needs some TLC, maybe about 100K. I'm not a contractor, so I would never say that for sure, but it could use a little bit of work. The reason why this one is still on my radar is it's listed for the 1.625. And if you do the right renovations and improvements and you look at the neighborhood around it, the comps have you up to at least 2 million. So you got a lot of wiggle room when it comes to the comps for PK's top pick. So I really like the value here. Let's finish things off with the top dog. We got to run down a couple quick ones. 1472 North Avenue 57 is the top dog at 3.499. We've talked about that one. Check back to the August. That's that investment building. It's the one we talked about with the virtual imaging. Be careful of virtual imaging. It's going to be something that's very prevalent of the future. You're going to go online on Zillow or wherever you check out homes, you can be like, oh, that's so beautiful, and you're going to get there and it's not going to look the same because they're doing virtual imaging, which is essentially Photoshop. But we're not going to talk about that home. Check back to August if you're interested in that. I'm also going to skip over 6115 Pinecrest, which is the next highest in the neighborhood. That's not really a single family residence. It's a 3-unit premises. It's been on the market for 198 days. So I don't see the relevancy if you're somebody who's coming in trying to be a first-time homeowner, just a single-family residence buyer for this video, which brings me to 1479 Highgate Avenue. It's a 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, 3,080 square feet, listed for $2.498 thousand. $301,000 price drop, was listed for 2.799. We're down to 2.498. $811 per square foot. I'm solid with that. 8405 is the lot size. So I think this was just a misprice. Most likely, especially when you get into these, mid 2 million and plus homes, you get homeowners who are really paying attention to the market. They're probably looking at 2021 prices. There was probably a sale right down the street that was for 2.75. I'm like, that's what I'm getting. And that sale was at 3% interest rate. And now we're at 7.5%, 8% interest rate. And the sellers had to have a tough conversation with their agent, and they had to lower the price. But the home is beautiful. It's fully updated, incredible views, has a jacuzzi on the rooftop, which I am down with. So nice home here. We'll see if they get in some bids. I'll keep you updated on next month's update, but maybe. Thank you so much for watching the video. We do this every single month for almost every neighborhood on the east side. We're doing Pasadena, Silver Lake, Eagle Rock, Highland Park, Glendale, La Cañada, El Sereno, Cypress Park. The list goes on and on. So like and subscribe to the channel if you are so inclined. If you're somebody who's looking to purchase a home on the east side of Los Angeles or sell your home, I am happy to help out with you. Reach out to me. You can send me a direct message online, or all of my phone numbers are listed. Even if you're somebody who's hesitant with 7% interest rates, that puts us in the same boat. It always helps to start preparing for future opportunities because you don't want to miss the boat there. We will tread lightly. We will look for value. We will get it done. I also do a ton of other videos. I get into the schools. I get into, the restaurants in the neighborhood. I get into the attractions in the neighborhood. I do some other fun videos like Quick Cribs. So once again, like and subscribe if you are so inclined. Have a great day. Be kind.
Yeah. There we go.